Knock it out the park, you ain't slam dunking the stats. That's shoot the breeze. Next man up with ice water in they vein, throwing the Hail Mary from football to alley hooping. Basketball, a winner's a win, and that's shoot the breeze. So if you insist, pass the baton in a relay race, or full court pressure opponent to be the GOAT on a Monday morning quarterback football jack. Next time you cross the goal line, that's shoot the breeze. And maybe then, only then, you may be able to take one for the team or spend to pitch a curve to the ball. In baseball, you ain't no home run, you ain't no touchdown, you ain't no three-point shot unless you tune in. Shoot the breeze. Watch and learn from this marathon. Aim for your shot and pass this along. The ball is in your court. Or did you lose a step at the crossover? Crossover and cross to get a feel of that. And that's shoot the breeze.
Good. What's good? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Shoot the Breeze podcast. Listen, man, we're doing pretty good, man. We're on episode two of the Spotlight Show, and I'm happy to be here. I love bringing talent to the forefront, man. A lot of people are out here that are doing a lot of talented things, and I definitely love showcasing their talents. It's something that I've always loved to do. Being in the music game, I love to put on showcases so that artists, performers, musicians, everybody could come together and just do their thing. But the cool thing is we're doing it with not just musicians, not just artists. We're going to have some film directors, movie producers, you name it, some artists, some painters, some dancers. We're going to do it really big here on Shoot the Breeze. So it's a pleasure to be back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. To those that are listening to us on the Apple Podcast, thank you so much. Make sure you go ahead and leave that 5-star with your preview, please. I would love to read the review of what you're saying. I get a lot of 5 stars, but it's like empty comments up there. But so before we kick off the show, before we get into the show, let's go ahead and we're going to do our little formalities. All right. So, we got to get those out the way. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Shoot the Breeze. All right. You can follow me on IG at Shoot the Breeze Pod TV. You can also follow on Twitter at Shoot the Breeze and the number 6. For all my podcast listeners who are not able to watch the show live or not viewing us or whatnot, you guys can have it right there in your ears, right there on your iPhones, your Android phones or whatnot. I don't discriminate, but here's a cool website. You can go to anchor.fm/shoot the breeze pod TV, and you can listen to all your streaming services, whatever it is you guys are comfortable with, whether it's Spotify. I'm an Apple guy, so I like Apple Podcasts. You can get it there. If you guys have other apps or other ways you like to stream your stuff, it's there. It's available for you guys to go out there and get a listen, man. You guys have been listening, and I've been getting so much feedback. It's so cool, right? Like, so I'm actually excited. I'm really excited about the guests I'm going to bring on. But before we do that, listen, I have some apparel. As you can see, I'm rocking this Shoot the Breeze tee, and I got the face mask right here. I'm gonna hold that up. You know what I'm saying? And the cool thing is they come with the little stretchy parts, man. So it's not like the little flimsy joint, and it's cloth, right? So you can wash it. You know what I'm saying? Clean it down, disinfect it, do whatever it is you guys want to do it. And it's hoodie season. It's hoodie season. How do I know? Because it starts to get a little bit chilly outside, especially when the sun goes down. With the sun going down, you're gonna want to grab a hoodie. All right. So look, I got some apparel right there. You can see in these pictures, or if you're listening to it, I'm going to give you the site where you can go ahead and you can cop your hoodie or your face mask, your t-shirts, all that good stuff, man. Listen, you go to teespring.com/shoot the breeze apparel, and you can go ahead and support your boy, support Shoot the Breeze. It's my little baby, my little vision. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and do that. Support your boy, man. I truly appreciate it. And on top of that, you're going to get some cool stuff to actually rock. You know what I'm saying? And the quality is really, really good. All right. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there, man. Some good quality stuff. Last but not least, if you guys have any questions or if you guys want to email me some ideas or things like that, if you want to appear on the show, if you want me to rock your brand and things like that on my show, man, listen, I'm about it, man. I love supporting the arts. I love supporting people. It's something that I love to do. I don't care if you're a chef or whatnot. Send me some food in the mail. I'll eat it. I'll taste it. I'll give you a review. Wait, don't send it to me in the mail unless it's mailable. I made up that word, right? So make sure if you want me to taste it, let me know. I'll come out, taste your food, man, give you a review. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it on the podcast. Like, It's a cool thing to do when you have your own podcast. You can talk about it. But my email is shootthebreezepodtv@gmail.com. Whew. Listen, doing all those little formality type things, man, it's a lot. But I'm glad I got that out the way. Before I bring in my special guest, I just want to go over some news very quickly. There's some things going out there in the industry and some stuff that's trending. And I'm not sure if my special guest was able to hear some of the things that are going on right now out there in the entertainment world or whatnot. But listen, today is Trek Day. To all my Star Trek fans, live long and prosper. I think I could do it. You know what I'm? Oh, you can't even live long and prosper. I can only do it with my left hand. For some reason, the right hand doesn't work the same way or whatnot. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed. Listen, it's Trek Day. CBS has this all access pass. And the cool thing is they're doing something for charity, right? So listen, if you hashtag Star Trek United Gives, it supports charities that champion equality, social justice, and the pursuit of scientific advancement. Tweet hashtag Star Trek United Gives, and we'll give a $1 donation on your behalf. All you have to do is tweet it and hashtag what they said to hashtag, and they're going to donate $1 on your behalf. You don't even have to give out any money. CBS is going to give out $1 for every tweet. I probably retweeted this 100 times. They're going to send me a bill in the mail. So listen, do that. You're going to appreciate it. What's good, Miss Debbie? What's good, Miss Debbie? Listen, I just hopped off another podcast before I came on here to do my podcast with the Nothing But Niners family, and we had some special guests on there, and we were talking football, and it was really hard to pry me away from 49er football talk. I mean, if it was regular football talk, I would have dipped out, but it was really hard to pry me away because we were talking, they were dropping nuggets, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of dropping nuggets, I want to talk about this young man right here. Okay. And I woke up this morning and I'm saying to myself, what in the heck is going on? Why did OBJ get traded? Did he get cut? Is he injured? It was none of the above. I thought maybe he did something out there. You know, he went out to a party, even though it's supposed to be COVID season or whatnot. And I'm saying to myself, OBJ, you just can't get it together. This was even better than that. Even better than him getting caught on the boat with a bunch of dudes or whatnot. It was just in Tim's. It was way better than that. My cousin is in here. What's good, PG? I got Miss Debbie in here. My boy Big Kid is in the building, man. In the building. But listen, I need to talk. Before I talk about this, I definitely want to. I need a minute. I need a moment because I wanted to show the clip. I wanted to show those three young ladies over there talking about, the experience, but it was too vulgar. And I said, the church family ain't going to love me anymore. And then I thought about it like, why do I care? But no, I do care. I care. So I'm not going to show it because I know kids are probably watching this. And I have a bunch of students in high school that are probably watching this as well, or at least are going to listen to it. And I said, no, I can't play the clip. I can't play that clip, but I will preface the clip. All right. So now you guys look at me or listen to me. Now hear me out. So an anonymous dancer girl goes on a podcast and she wanted to talk about her experience with, Odell Beckham Jr. Put the junior in there because it's not his daddy. It's the junior. And, I'm sure they only had her on the podcast because of what she was about to, forego to the world. But she wanted to remain anonymous, right? She didn't want her name out there. But her picture is out there. And she was like, yeah, like loving it. Anyway, so I'm watching this thing and I'm saying, like, what did he do? Like, what did he possibly do? Apparently, OBJ reached out to the young lady and said, hey, I want to get up. And the lady was like, cool, I'm about it. Let's do it. So I'm like, all right, where's this going? And, he had some prerequisites. It's a word I like to use because I'm back at school. I'm back at teaching. So the prerequisites before they met, that she had to fulfill. There were some requirements And one of the requirements was that OBJ didn't want her to shower for, at least 24 hours. So I'm like, well, maybe they're gonna go fishing or hunting or something like that, something crazy. You know what I'm saying? And 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 then I kept listening, and it wasn't that they weren't going hunting and they weren't going fishing because I mean, you probably don't want to shower when you go hunting because you're probably going to attract all the bugs and the bears and the lions and the tigers, oh my, and stuff like that when you go hunting, and you might want to have a little stench to you so you could kind of blend in with what's going on in the woods, right? So there was some things going out there that just didn't make sense to me. And my boy Mike said, yo, I could not figure out like why that, they had put this saying out about like I guess OBJ. I never thought OBJ would be a number 2 receiver. And I'm like, "Well, you know, he's not a number 2 receiver, but you had to watch or listen or read about what happened. And I know my guest is probably sitting in the thing, probably looking it up, like, what is Wayne talking about? And I know my guest is probably cracking up, right? Because this, whatever. Anyway, so he that was prerequisite number 1. And what he wanted her to be a prerequisite number 2 was she had to send him a picture in the bathroom taking a number 2. So I'm like, okay, like, where's this going? And then who takes a picture when they and then the raunchy part about it, the chick was like, I was like, I could do that. Hi. I'm like, what? Who does that? Who takes a picture in the bathroom? Period. Like, but number 2 and taking the picture, that just doesn't mix. Doesn't mix. It doesn't mix. Matter of fact, when I use the bathroom, I'm trying to get out there as soon as possible, especially when there's a number 2. There's nothing I wanted. I mean, I definitely do the most creating in the bathroom. Bathroom time is creating time for me. It's like a small place, secluded. I can kind of go in there and just kind of put my headphones on and whatnot. But I promise you, I'm trying to get out there as fast as I can. All right. So those were his 2 kind of like, you had to be able to fulfill these requirements before we get together. So she did it. And then they got together. And then he asked her to go number 2 on him. Now, I'm not judging him or he's a grown man, and everyone in this world has some type of fetish. And maybe he just can't smell, or I, I don't even know. I don't know. But anyway, let's go back to him being a number 2 receiver. I guess the saying being a number 2 receiver fits, right? And if you don't get it, before I play the wah wah wah, it was a number 2, and he received the number 2. So just in case you guys don't understand what that means, just wanted to throw that out there. So OBJ is trending for being a number 2 receiver and not a number 1 receiver. I guess you can, yeah, right. And is he weird? I don't know. Does he have a fetish? Clearly, I forgot. There's a name for it. Matter of fact, there's a name for it, and I don't know what it's called because I didn't want to look it up. But there's a name for this type of fetish, and I'm hoping that OBJ showered, because we're trying to prevent COVID, and those are just bad bacterias, man. That's just bad. That's just bad, right? That's just bad. So, yeah, that was the long version of the story. But I needed you guys to really understand like what went down. So if you haven't been keeping up on what's trending or whatnot, I just brought it to you. OBJ is trending because he is a number 2 receiver. All right. So we got Trek Day, we got OBJ. There's some new movies that have been released, and this is the entertainment show where we're going to focus around movie production. Last week we had the Miss Simone on here, and she talked about her music, and we recapped the battle between Brandy versus Monica. Before I talk about these movie releases, I want to bring in my special guest because he's been sitting here waiting for about 15 minutes, and I think that's perfect time. I feel like Arsenio Hall. I just need the whoop whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna bring in my special guest. Listen, he is a Superman. And why do I call him a Superman? He wears many different hats, right? He does a lot of work, a lot of field work, a lot of groundwork, a lot of behind the scenes work. And now he's doing, in front of the scenes work, right? This guy is producing, he's directing, he's writing, he's cast scripting, he's doing anything you can think of when it comes to film industry. He's doing it. Like he's legit living out the American dream. And I am super super stoked to have this young gentleman on my show today. And ladies and gentlemen, and let me get this together because I got this plan and I got that plan. But ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for my man, Mr. Andre Crazy One Griffith. What's going on, baby?
What's going on, y'all? Wayne, real quick, man. You remember that Biggie Ready to Life After Death joint?
I do. I do. And when you text, and then I'm glad you were listening because I remember that joint on Life After Death. But listening to it, it didn't serve the same purpose because this chick came out and just said it. It's called okay, so this is what it's called. All right. I don't even know how to say it. I'm not even gonna try.
Coprophilia.
Yeah, whatever that means. The word poop not even in that word. You know what I'm saying? Or defecating or doo-doo or BM, bowel movement. Who abbreviated the word BM? Like who was that? Because that's my grandmother used to say it. That had to be back in the 40s or something like that, calling them the BM. Coprophilia. All right. So that's what it's called, man. Look, it is what it is. But I'm so glad to have you on the show because you have been super busy. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy has, taking me up under his wing many a times. He's a die-hard 49er fan. So to all the 49er faithful that are watching right now, that are streaming live or that's going to watch it, or listen to it on the podcast, please make sure you give him a follow. You see, he put his hashtag in there. I believe he has the same hashtag for every social media outlet or whatnot. I believe so. So make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow. That's at crazy1373. I never asked him what the 373 stood for, but maybe we'll learn today. All right. So welcome, man. How have you been?
Man, I've been busy.
I know.
We just we're in campaign right now for the short film, the promotion. I just finished doing a commercial for this drink called Tiger Life. Not sponsored, so you only get 2 seconds. And I'm working on we're getting back the MMA and everything like that is getting back into the flex. So I'm about to start going on the road shooting for CES MMA, who is like a farm league for the UFC. So I'm getting ready to get back on the cage and start filming for them again. It's a lot of stuff going on, man.
Yeah, man. And before COVID hit, like you guys were like heavily into the WNBA. I mean, you guys were doing stuff for Connecticut Suns and filming and that was amazing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like to watch you guys, watch you at work doing your thing. So you were definitely out there doing it. But I really want to talk to you. I brought you on the show today because you produced a film.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about like how difficult something like that is to do. And you did a short film. So you had to take something that probably took you like months and condense it into 7 minutes. And I don't think people realize that's possible or how hard it is to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to get to know you. But before we do the get to know you segment, I definitely want to drop the clip so people can see what you're talking about or hear what you're talking about. All right. So why don't you introduce the clip and I'll go ahead and get it ready.
All right, so the film's called The Promotion. It's basically a love story. Guy's working in a mail room in a corporate office. He meets a girl, and the relationship blossoms. But we're gonna take this clip from a point in time where they're like 6 months into the relationship, and they going through 6 month relationship issues. So you can go ahead and run that.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Promotion.
Oh, can you get a milkshake too?
Ooh, milkshake, strawberry.
You always get strawberry.
I love strawberry.
But it's not that good.
Why is Candace texting you?
I don't know.
It's your phone, but you don't know why your ex of 6 years is
Babe, we don't
texting
talk.
You?
No, I don't. We don't talk.
How don't you talk? She's literally all up in your phone.
Baby.
Like, there's 3 text messages here from this week. How do you not talk to her?
Babe, we don't talk.
I told you
did-
I don't feel comfortable with you being friends with your ex of 6 years.
I told you that I'm friends
literally
with my
told you
exes.
that I'm not friends with my exes.
Does that make you
It's not
better
a
than me?
matter-
Should I like who's
So now
better in the
so you're
scenario? I
gonna
don't
turn
understand.
the tables. You know what?
It's
Well,
not a
then
turning
if
of the tables,
she's
who's
your
asking
friend,
a
if she's your
question?
friend, you know what? Well, then why don't you text your friend back
Baby.
and- Yep.
Baby. Babe. No,
Text
please.
her back.
I told you.
Text her back.
Yeah. I had a lot of people who watched that like, wait. Don't just stop there. What's going on with Candace? Who is Candace? So yeah, that was a fun thing to do.
You threw this film at us, and it went day one, it went this day to this week to this month to this month. Like, I'm just like, dude, like I want to watch more. But you probably purposely did something like this. Why don't you explain to us why you decided to like condense something that could have been an hour and a half to 2 hour film clip that people would have enjoyed?
I don't have the money. That's it. Listen, this film ran me about $10K to produce, and everybody who was in it, everybody who was a part of it, actually did it for free. So it probably, to do this 14-minute piece, it probably should have ran me anywhere between 50 to 75 grand, getting the talent, getting the locations. But you have to watch the entire thing to understand what I'm about to say. But because of the message of the film, almost everybody donated either their time or their space for us to film. We had a prodigy screenwriter from an Oscar-winning screenwriter who literally taught this guy. He was like, "Listen, I can't do it because I'm busy, so I'm gonna give you this guy." And this guy banged out the screenplay based off of the ideas that I wrote. We had a producer, costume designer, photographer, a whole crew that shot this over a 4-day period, and it took about a month and some change to edit before we got to its final stages. And yeah, so it was like a full-scale movie production, but because we were doing it on a very low budget, we only can do a short film.
Yeah, and people probably don't understand, like, when you're talking about budgets, people are like, well, you didn't have enough money to make it, whatever. Like, when you watch the quality of this film, you're gonna think that this film should have been in a movie theater. So the quality of the film wasn't low budget, but the production cost of the film is what he was he's trying to explain. Sometimes you just don't have enough money because you still have to have money for distribution, and how can you get it out to this place and that place? Listen, your film was awarded.
Nominated,
excuse me. Your film was nominated for an award, and I want you to tell us a little bit about this award. And then my man Big Ken says, "Man, doesn't this happen to everyone?" And it sure does, Ken, because I have a story. I mean, matter of fact, I'm married from my work relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? So absolutely, it happens to everybody. But why don't you share your story? Share your nomination.
So we were selected into the LA International Film Festival, the Indie Short Awards. We are now finalists in the Hollywood Gold Awards, and we are also selected into the Venice, the Venice Film Festival, which is like one of the bigger film festivals out there, for Best Indie Short. I've been nominated for Best New Director. We got Best Acting Duo, Best Producer, Best Hair and Styling, Best Makeup. We got like 6 nominations off of thing, and then there's a whole lot more coming. We got about 15 other organizations that came in, literally asked us for the film. So it's actually making its way around the world.
So you're telling me that your film was nominated for all of these awards on a low budget?
Yes.
Won't he do it? Let me stop.
Hey,
So people don't know about that, so we're gonna leave that off. But no, you're right. You know, he will do it. He definitely will. Listen, man, let's play this little getting to know you game, right? So I want to
all right.
ask you some random questions, and it's definitely about the industry and things like that, about you, and things like that. And then we'll go ahead and talk about some of these shows that you expect us to catch up on or watch. If you guys don't know, listen, this dude and his wife, they when before COVID, they were at the movies like every week, and they would do a show and preview the movie. They were like the new Siskel and Ebert, I think that's their names. Whatever.
Yeah.
They were that, and they were better. So really cool. I remember you guys previewing like The Walking Dead. Like there was just so much stuff we did. All right. What first got you into like filming? Like what made you get into filming? Did you start off in photography and graduate to filming, or what got you into filming?
I started in radio.
Radio.
Yeah, so you see all these badges behind me for all the places that I've done, just going out and like doing red carpets and all that other stuff. One day, my photographer, my videographer was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm talking about like going to like red carpets at awards, hanging out with celebrities on a regular basis, getting like not having to pay for a single CD or a concert. And they said they didn't want to do it anymore because they wanted to do other stuff. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got to do it myself. So that's how that started.
Yeah, I like that, man. Let's see. What's your creative process like? Like, you know, I know you didn't write this script for this particular, but your ideas were here. So, like, what's your creative process like? Like, how do you go about doing stuff? How do you go about creating a film? I teach my students 7 things, right? I tell them, look, you need to brainstorm, you're going to research, you're going to do this. What is your creative process like?
My creative process was seeing an idea and then writing down the notes. So in the business, they call this a treatment, where you're not necessarily writing the screenplay, but you're writing down like what's actually happening, and then you toss it over to a screenwriter. They take the what's happening, and then they kind of fill in all the gaps there.
Perfect.
So get the idea, take the notes, write down the treatment, and then hand it off to your other creatives.
Nice. All right. So now that you're filming and you're directing and you're doing all these type of things, name one film director that's inspired you.
Edgar Wright.
So I don't know who
Easy.
Edgar Wright is.
If anybody has ever watched Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz or Scott Pilgrim versus the World, that is Edgar Wright. He was supposed to direct Ant-Man, but then they had creative differences, so then he got kicked off of Ant-Man. But oh man, if he would have directed that, you would have saw a whole new level. Have you seen the movie Baby Driver?
Yes.
That's Edgar Wright.
Okay. See, I need a movie that I can relate to. I did see Shaun of the Dead, but I didn't pay attention too much to like the cinematography or the direction. I just thought it was funny. Like, you know,
King of transitions, dude.
Okay.
He is the king of transitions.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to put this on hold because I definitely want to talk about this. And I don't know if you've seen this movie, but a new movie dropped, I think around in September, early September, called Tenet.
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. And that's the question I'm going to ask you. All right. So Christopher Nolan is a big time film director. And he puts out this new movie. Now, I know he did Inception, right? I don't know what else he's done, but if you tell me those movies, I can understand why they all kind of like correlate, like the way he films, like his thought processing. He's like a weirder version of Quentin Tarantino. Like the beginning might be at the end and the end might be in the beginning or something like that. His movies are kind of like a little bit all over the place. I haven't seen this film yet. I definitely plan to see it because they got my boy in it, man, Mr. Washington. I'm not sure if he's related to Denzel, but
that's his son.
Good golly, oh Molly. I don't see it. Do y'all see that?
You don't see it here, but when you watch the man act, you definitely see it come out.
He does. Now, if you don't know who Mr. Washington is, if you don't know who John David Washington is, if you watch, he's played in a few movies, but he's really known from the show Ballers. He was Ricky on Ballers. He was
Yep.
the wide receiver that was getting older time after time, and he had to keep going out there, putting out his best foot to secure his spot on different teams. That was my dude, man. That was my dude. It's really good to see him acting, and I can tell from his role on Ballers, he has so much more in him. Like,
Yeah.
you know how Denzel has like this just certain personification to him, like he has this prestige. I can see it in him, being a, but I don't see the look. I don't see them. I don't see him. Like, what I
Have
mean?
you seen the Black Klansman?
Nope. I tried.
Go watch it. He's the star of that one.
Okay, so
You'll
that's
see it.
him and co-starring the dude that played in Star Wars too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Adam Driver. Yep.
Yeah. So all right, so the black. Okay, I gotta go check that out. I gotta go put it on and give it another chance and whatnot. All right, so I did want to talk about that because Christopher Nolan, like, top 5 directors, does he make your top 5?
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight,
Wait,
The
stop.
Dark Knight Rises.
Stop. That's not him.
Yes, that is.
That's not him.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I know you know the answer. I'm just gonna keep saying it's not him because, wow. Okay. All right.
Yep.
I have been enlightened on my show. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yep.
And this is why you bring in guests that know their stuff. Listen, you just named 3 movies that are like, all of those movies have been like, yeah. They've set the bar. Matter of fact, you can't put out another DC film, and these movies surpass, just DC. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But when it comes to DC, nothing has trumped these movies. I don't even think they're in the DC universe type, Explain.
No, but it's because of him that Man of Steel came out, and Man of Steel was the movie that sparked that DC universe type of deal.
Oh.
So, before Batman Begins, you had the Joe Schumacher Batman, with the super goofy and all that stuff, Val Kilmer and George Clooney, that mess.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. Let's make Batman like good again. Let's make Batman great again.
Yeah.
And he went and did that trilogy. Zack Snyder went and saw that. It's like, yo, you're on to something. And then that sparked that whole universe right there.
All right. Because, you went from Tim Burton to like dark, kind of kooky, spooky kind of Batman. Which was dope for me. I love the Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
And then I can throw all the other ones in the trash. No disrespect. I know it's Batman, but they just weren't that good to me. They were fun. They were different. They were colorful, different. It just wasn't the same. And then here comes Christopher Nolan.
They were trash.
Yo, they were trash. They were trash. I didn't want to say trash, but
big budget trash.
I said Dookie on the air, so we could say trash. They were trash. All right. I know he had George Clooney and Val Kilmer, but they were just trash. There was nothing they could do. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in one of them. Uma Thurman was in one of them. Like, they were just trash. Wait. What's the one with the Riddler? He was in one of those.
Yeah, he was. It was the Riddler and Two-Face. It was Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, and that was the one with Val Kilmer, I believe.
I like them. I like those two guys because Two-Face. I thought Tommy Lee played a better Two-Face than the guy that played Harvey Dent, in the new ones. But the guy played more Harvey Dent, and Tommy Lee played more Two-Face.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's just my personal.
No. You're right.
That's my personal. Listen, that is dope, yo. So you have Christopher Nolan in your top 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
No. He's honorable mention to me.
So who are your top 5 movie directors? I know.
So we got Edgar Wright,
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. Spielberg.
No matter how scientific his films are or whatever, they're all like masterpieces.
Yeah. Underneath Spielberg, you got James Cameron, and
fill me in a movie from James Cameron. I know his name, but fill me in.
Terminator 2, Avatar.
That's all I need to hear. Boom.
Okay. Underneath him, what's his name? Martin Scorsese.
Oh, of course.
Martin Scorsese's in my number 4, and there's a toss up that I have this is a heart pick. Okay, so if anybody out there watching, don't get mad at me, but George Lucas has got to be in there for me.
Why wouldn't George Lucas be in there?
Because
Why is he number 5?
He did 4 great movies. No, I'm sorry. He did 2 great movies and then stunk up the rest of his career.
Wait a minute. All right. Okay. So when you say great movies, are you separating all the Star Wars, or he only did 2 out of all of those movies that were great? Is that what you're saying?
He did American Graffiti, which was what got his name known.
Yes. Yep.
And then he did the original Star Wars, which made his name great. The other 2, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, he did not direct those.
I didn't know that.
He came back to do the prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3. But 1 was okay, 2 was hot garbage, and 3 was good, but not good enough to redeem the other 2.
Yeah.
But he also did Indiana Jones. No, sorry. Spielberg. Spielberg did Indiana Jones.
Isn't that when they met and they started working together?
They met after Star Wars.
Okay.
Spielberg was supposed to do Empire Strikes Back, but because George Lucas didn't want to join the union, the union wouldn't let Spielberg do it. So then they got Irvin Kershner to do Empire Strikes Back.
Yo,
but he wrote
dropping nuggets. If you're into movies, he's dropping nuggets.
I'm a student of the game, though. He wrote Indiana Jones and said, "Listen, I can't direct it because I'm not in the union. Steve, here, take the stories that I wrote, go make them." And then that's exactly what Steven Spielberg did.
Yo, I love when the audience chimes in and they say things like this. If you read the books, this is my man Joe Winters. If you read the books, Spielberg butchers a lot of stories. I'm just saying. He's the Dr. Dre of movies. Wait a minute. Are you saying Dr. Dre butchers songs? Or are you saying Dr. Dre tweaks perfecting already great projects? I want to, but how do you feel about that comment?
I think every director does. No, there hasn't been one director who actually takes source material and makes source material on the film.
Okay.
Look at the MCU. You know what I'm saying? That whole Infinity Saga. Thanos in the comics, Thanos was doing this to please a chick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what they did was kind of rearrange it and, kind of make it their own. But as long as the end result is a good story, as long as the end result is an hour and a half to 2 hours of your life that you don't have to think about any problems, you're good. In my book, you're good.
Yo, my brother Donnie said that George Lucas did 6 great movies. Watch your mouth.
If you count in THX 1138, I wouldn't call that great. If you count in Red Tails, I wouldn't call that great either. It was good, but it wasn't great. And then I think he did another one that's escaping my mind right now. And he came out with one recently within the last couple of years, but nobody's seen it.
Yeah, when I mention George Lucas' name, the only movie that comes to mind is Star Wars. I know he did American Graffiti, but Star Wars comes to mind. And I think when you do a project to that magnitude, that's impossible to beat. I wish the movie wasn't as great, so he could have done better. Maybe possibly. It's hard to top that. Come on, man. It hard.
Really is. But if he never did that, we wouldn't be having this conversation today.
We wouldn't be having this conversation. I agree with you. Well, they're talking about Dr. Dre. A lot of producers takes other people's work and kind of like tweaks it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Miss Sentiment, a lot of people do that. Like a lot of producers are known. Puff Daddy did it. I don't hear y'all.
One word, sampling.
That's it. That's what they do. And back then they were able to get away with it a lot more. Before artists and their publishing companies decided to say, wait a minute, hold up, right? They said, wait a minute, it's my song from 1946. I need my 10 cents. You know what I'm saying?
Ask Lord Tariq and Peter Guns how well they got over with that sample.
Listen, if y'all don't know the story about Lord Tariq and Peter Guns, they sampled one of the greatest bass lines from Steely Dan called Black Cop. Listen, that album was musically like ridiculously great. And I didn't know that back then when I was listening to hip hop. I didn't know much about music other than what hip hop was and gospel music. Those were the only two musics I pretty much listened to. But as I started to become more of a musician, I was like, yo, dun, dun, dun. Oh,
Yep.
snap. And they got that. You haven't heard from them since. I mean, like his son, Peter Gunn's son came out, but you saw how that went. He was right.
They can't do anything.
Well,
For one, Steely Dan, they don't like hip hop at all.
Right.
And they say, I don't like it. Take it off. Matter of fact, everything that you made, then some off of this,
Yes, sir.
I want it all. Broke 'em.
That's crazy, man.
Broke 'em.
And they did that in spite of, like, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Just because they weren't fans of the genre of music, you know. So my boy Donnie says, listen, how did you leave this guy out?
Because Spike Lee is hit or miss for me. Now, granted, he is a big influence of he's a big influence in my cinematic upbringing. However, the one thing that kind of keeps, like, I'll put Spike Lee at like a 7 or an 8. He's in my top 10, not my top 5. And the reason being is because he very rarely changes his style.
You're
And
correct.
yeah, it's like he has a specific signature that he doesn't leave from, and sometimes it helps his movies, and sometimes it hurts his movies. So that's why Spike Lee. As a matter of fact, I'm actually taking Spike Lee's masterclass. That's how much I put him up as a director and a filmmaker. I'm actually taking his masterclass right now.
Yo, I love this crowd, man. They know some peoples up in here. F. Gary Gray, that's what I'm talking about, though.
F. Gary Gray, are you?
Well, look, he did some.
Antoine Fuqua.
Yo,
y'all naming directors because they black. I get it. But
does matter.
Antoine Fuqua, so he had one hit.
What was his one hit?
I forgot what that one hit was. But then they gave him like 2-3 other movies, and they all bombed. Antoine Fuqua did the Magnificent Seven, the remake of the Magnificent Seven.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. You know John Singleton?
Yeah,
Boys in the Hood was one of the greatest movies of all time, yo.
It was, but not enough to put him in a top, maybe top 20 for him.
Okay. So we gotta break this down on another show and do it by films, right?
Yeah, like
you talking about careers. I see where you're going. Like, you're basing it off of people's careers, and sometimes some movies just, even though they're not in the same genre, some movies hit harder, and the list is going to be differentiated because everybody likes different types of movies. So I definitely, but
it's got to be a level of consistency, though.
It's got to be a level of consistency. I agree. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. All right, one more question, and then we're going to talk about some of the shows that you want to recommend to our listeners, right? Some shows out there that you want to recommend to our listeners. All right.
I left field one for you too.
Oh, I know you do, because that's who you are. You know what I mean? Hey, Mariah, it's all good. Nothing but Niners was bumping today, man. We had some special guests on there, so thank you so much for tuning in. All right, who's Chris Columbus? Because I don't know who Chris Columbus is, and they want me to ask you.
So I gotta go through my filmography real quick, so I can't answer that right now because of the time.
Got you. So
but
you
yes,
don't know. But it's cool.
I know who he is.
No, I'm just messing with you, man. Let's see.
Law Abiding Citizen was dope, by the way.
It was a dope movie. That was actually one of Gerard Butler's best movies. I know we can throw in. You got to throw in 300. But then Law Abiding Citizen was dope with him and Jamie Foxx. And then there was one more movie, but it might be the same movie that I'm thinking about. I swear there was one more. He did the movie with
You're probably thinking of Inside Man.
Yeah,
that was Spike Lee.
That was Spike Lee. Gerard Butler did another movie, the Olympus movie. I actually liked it.
Oh yeah. So the first one was good.
And it's like, I mean, that's what happens when you wait time to do another movie. You gotta serve the people while the block is hot. Like, you know what I mean?
I enjoyed the third one. The second one was utter trash. I enjoyed the third one.
Chris Columbus directed Home Alone, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but again,
That's
You
a
can't
one
take
movie.
a good movie,
Right.
because I made a good movie. The next one I make might not be as good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, because a lot depends on it. Budget, cast, distribution, like all that stuff. Like,
But all right, so I gotta hit this real quick. So F. Gary Gray, right? He's doing the new Mask movie. If you remember,
we doing math?
Crusaders, working overtime,
Wow.
fighting crime. Yep. He did Men in Black International.
Yeah, that was trash.
He did Fate of the Furious. Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah.
He did Be Cool.
Eh,
I mean, and then from that part, but he did one of my favorite movies, which is The Italian Job. But A Man Apart wasn't that good.
I like that movie, though.
So what?
I like that movie.
But A Man Apart?
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
It wasn't. It. You know what? A Man Apart. It wanted to be John Wick so bad.
No, it wasn't. It did no, and there was no John Wick before A Man Apart came out.
I know that. That's what I'm saying.
John
Wick.
They
John Wick.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
John Wick is what A Man Apart wanted to be.
That's not fair, yo. That's not fair. Look, we're gonna put some respect on Vin Diesel's name. All right, listen. I thought A Man Apart had all right. So both of these movies had some kind of like tidbits from The Punisher. Like if you think about it,
Right.
They both had the storyline. I would say they just all went about it a different way. Speaking of John Wick, listen, that I would say that what's the word for four? Because this trilogy and then there's four.
It's
right?
a quadrilogy.
Whatever that word is, quadrilogy.
At this point, you just say franchise.
I would just say franchise, and they've all gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
So rarely do you see a movie where it takes time after time, and they get better and better, and then the fourth one when it comes out, it's going to be better than the third one.
And the movie wasn't supposed to be good.
I just don't understand what they're doing, and why is Neo from the Matrix still making hit movies? Speaking of Matrix, they're supposed to be bringing that back.
Yeah.
Now, are they going with the original director?
Yes.
Okay, so then we have a chance of it being good. I love Man of Right. You don't think it's going to be good?
No, the Wachowskis, if they're even calling themselves that anymore, they did that first Matrix. Perfect. Excellent movie.
I like Matrix 2, bro.
Matrix 2 was dope, but then they started going too deep into the lore, and then they started losing people.
Yeah.
And then they did this freaking movie, Jupiter Ascending. Oh my, that Jupiter Ascending is right above because can't nothing get below this. Jupiter Ascending was right above The Last Airbender.
I thought that movie was trash.
That movie was hot garbage. That movie was OBJ.
Dookie, if you guys missed the beginning of this show, you missed out a lot. You better go back and rewind it. Listen, if you guys are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please make sure you give the 5-star rating. But I would love to read your review. So go ahead and leave a review of there. Even if you just want to say hi or put a smiley face or whatever, thumbs up in the review, that's cool. Like, I just want to see some reviews, man. Listen,
Racer.
that junk was trash. Listen, Joe, I didn't like Speed Racer. It came on TV. No, not Speed Racer. I liked Speed Racer. Need for Speed came on TV the other day, and I thought that was trash.
Listen, you gotta go back and watch Speed Racer in 2020 lenses. All right, it's a better movie than what the world wasn't ready for Speed Racer when it came out.
Understood.
So you got to go back and watch it with 2020 lenses. You have to forgive some of the CGI because they did it purposely heavily green screen.
Yes,
but that film is a freaking masterpiece. And that and the original Matrix are the only two movies that I really love from the Wachowskis. You can't even call them Wachowski brothers anymore because they now the Wachowski sisters.
Okay, so
if you didn't know that.
I did not. But let's move along. All right. All right. So listen, guys. thank y'all so much, man, for your info and your feedback and stuff like that. That was an awesome exercise. That wasn't even planned, and it just flew like what like water, yo. That was dope. No end game, yo. It's well. So okay. Here's the thing, though. We did not talk about favorite films. We talked about
Right.
top 5 directors. All right. So I'm sure when listen, no one know. Well, maybe Mr. Winters, but I know that Mr. Griffith right here, he is a MCU comic con.
Guru.
He just knows the stuff, right? So after we go and see the movie, he already has the tidbits on the stuff before like it's just ridiculous. So
I worked on Black Panther, by the way.
yes. Yes. Speaking of Black Panther 2 is supposed to be dropping no time soon, but the way they're changing up the storyline is kind of dope. And when you go back and rewatch it, that little tidbit that they throw out there about his sister, did they I'm not gonna say it fit perfect because God rest his soul, he passed away. But I know that they knew that his time was coming, right?
I thought, but then the reports came out that he was really trying to beat it. They were supposed to start filming Black Panther 2 in this March. And the production has come to a straight halt. I am going to be running support for the same person who I ran support from in the first movie. So I'll be kept abreast of what's going on with that film. But yeah, production has come to a halt. They might rewrite that. They're not too sure about recasting right now. So if they don't go with the recasting route, then they're going to go with a replacement route, which is basically just further the story along.
Yeah.
And if anything, Letitia Wright might carry that movie, but they might make it an ensemble so she doesn't have to carry the movie.
I understand. That's very well said. Very well said. All right, listen. So we're gonna get to the last part of the show, and for those that have been sticking around, good. I appreciate you guys make me so happy. You guys don't know how nervous I am doing this, even though I'm always in front of a camera or mic.
You're natural, man.
Man, nerves be kicking, boy. I'm telling you. But listen, so a couple of shows came out this week. I did want to talk about Mulan. I did not see it yet. It looks amazing. I do want to talk about it. I had a clip. I won't show the clip. Listen, question. $29.99. Is Disney out of their mind for not only do you have to pay the streaming service to watch this movie, but are they out of their mind for charging $30?
If you was taking Ricky and Roman to the movies to go see this movie, how much money would you spend?
About $50 to $60.
Case closed.
And that's on matinee prices, by the way.
Case closed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. You're spending $30 to see for a new release that was supposed to come out in theaters. You're spending $30 for a night out at the movies in your home without having to go and spending $10 on a bucket of popcorn, and for a quarter more, would you like to upgrade your drink? All right, you can go and spend $15 on snacks at home, $30. Y'all watching it, and y'all get to keep watching it as many times as you want if you like it. I have no problem with that because the movie tickets are like $17.
Case closed, bro. I didn't want to cause any type of argument. You see, I didn't put it out there on Twitter. I didn't do anything like that because Bill and Ted came out straight to stream as well. And I kind of want to see it. I definitely want to see it.
I heard it was good.
I heard it was good. But my thing is, it's like a friend of mine texted me, and I was like, "You must don't buy 4K DVDs, you know what I mean, or stream." Which I don't buy the DVDs anymore either. But if it's a movie I want, I buy it, right? And it fits me, it suits me. It doesn't suit everybody. If you're paying the streaming service, you had early access, so you got to see it before it came out, right? Yeah. And now it's there for you to watch, but you have to pay the $30. I think it's worth it. I can see the industry shifting this way, bro. Other than places losing money to run businesses or movie theaters like that, this might be.
I don't think. I think why in this time, yes, but when those theaters open back up, they're gonna go right back there, and they might shorten the time frame of when you can actually get it on a home service or streaming service. But they lost money because they lost a lot of money. If they would have opened up in theaters, people would have forgot. They wouldn't even have $30 in their mind. They would have took their families, they would have took their girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever, and they would have spent all that money, and it would have made crazy. And then China, which is the world's second biggest box office market, oh man, they would have came close, maybe second or third in the box office in a weekend.
Yeah, what's gonna be cool though is when it does reopen, because the movie theaters are opening, right? They are open,
right,
but they're socially
limited
capacity, all those good things. When movies really reopen, bro, we need COVID to be all the way away, because everybody and their mom are gonna be at the movie theater with their kids, their families, and they're not gonna care about what the movie theaters can up their prices, and everybody's gonna be at the movie theater. Why? The experience.
Yeah.
I won't.
So let's get to these shows, man. Before I see the time dwindling.
You didn't see one of the shows, so I'll hit that really quickly. Right. If you guys haven't watched Power Book 2, if you guys are fans of the show Power, they released a spinoff from the series Power. It's called Power Book 2. It's in the eyes of his son Tariq. All right, and Tariq is going on, and if you don't know what happened or whatnot, I don't want to kind of spoil it, but if you're a fan of the show, you know what's going on, right, guys? I recommend this show. This is the host, the guy who's putting this show together, Breezy's recommendation. I should put that in the bottom somewhere. Watch this joint. At first, I said it's not going to be good. There's no way it could be good. They brought in a couple of other stars, a couple of other music stars and TV stars they have played in film before. Method Man did How High. I thought that movie was hilarious, right, with Redman. And Mary J's been in a slew of movies. I watched one corny movie, can't think of the name of it, but she was in it. And if you guys aren't fans of what's that show that comes, why can't I think of the name of the show? It's a Netflix show. It's like superheroes, can't think of the name of it. Oh my God, what is the name of the show? They got special powers. They were kids, they were young, blah, blah, blah. I just finished it. Season 2. Umbrella Academy. Mary J was on season 1. All right. So if you want to know,
don't get me started.
Oh, okay. She was horrible, but she was on season 1. All right.
She can't act. I'm sorry.
She's not an actress. No, she's not. But you know what? They bring her in to do certain scripts. Listen, she plays a character named Monet on Power Book 2. And Monet ain't the one to be beeped with. That's all I'm going to say. In that she's running stuff. And if you want to see a woman in power, watch this season. All right, so that's Power. But you did see The Boys. Now, I fell in love with this show. It was like if you're a superhero fan, this was what I wish superheroes would be like in real life. I know they're good.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
not Homelander, but like the rest of the where they all got issues. You know?
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to figure out is how many of them are real, or meaning born like that, and how many have been juiced. And if I'm not mistaken,
I think they've all been juiced.
Exactly. Now the offsprings now are born like that, though, correct?
Right.
Ooh. So I can't wait to see how Homelander's son turns out, because he's trying to get son into the... All right, listen.
Dude, it's Homelander's son to Butcher's wife, though.
What?
Yeah, that was Butcher's wife.
Wait, you said... Wait,
you remember at the end of season 1?
Oh yeah,
right.
He's covering up for it. Yes.
Right. So he thought his wife was dead.
Right.
His wife wasn't dead, and Homelander's son is by Butcher's wife.
Oh yeah, yes, yo, yes. It's crazy. The storyline is crazy, and then we watched. All right, so talk about the show. Talk about like how you like the film, the cinematography. Talk about that. We got about 2 minutes.
I love everything about the show. Like seriously, I love the setup. I love the cinematography. I love how they're juxtaposing. The good guys are always in a dark spot right now. The bad guys who are supposed to be the good guys, they're in like light and bright and colorful type of stuff, and they're kind of like juxtaposing the roles with the color schemes that they're using. It's like I'm loving the themes that they're creating with it. They kind of like killing the church right now in this series, but it's still like really good storytelling.
Yeah.
But I know we only got a couple minutes left, so I gotta throw my left field show out there for you.
Go ahead.
Teenage Bounty Hunters.
What is that? And
Yo,
what
it's a
channel?
Netflix show. I just tuned it in. I'm like, okay, let's see what this is, because Kadeem Hardison is in it. Dwayne Wade.
Okay, Dwayne Wade.
So he's in it. Method Man's in it, and they have it takes place in Atlanta. It's two white girls who go to a Christian private school, and they're Republicans, right? But one of them is not necessarily a Republican. They get caught up by accident helping Kadeem Hardison, who's a bounty hunter, catch a bounty. And then all of a sudden he takes the two of them on as their wing. And then Method Man is another bounty hunter on it. I'm going to say this, and crucify me if you will, but I need Method Man to start getting more
Movie roles. Yes.
This dude is killing this role in Teenage Bounty Hunters. Flat out killing this role.
You know, you mentioned that, and to rewind back to the Power episode, if you watch the preview of the show, you're gonna see a lot of Method Man in there, and you saw him a lot in episode 1. Like, he was characters introduced. He's this lawyer. He doesn't really care about the truth. He just wants to. He's a defense attorney, so he wants to get his client like off no matter what. Like, you know what I mean? But he needs to obviously know what's going on. And then little Tariq goes ahead and kind of like blackmails this guy into taking on the case. But Tariq does have to pay him the $500K. So it's so cool. But the way he acts, it's just like Method Man's always been a good actor, yo. I don't know why he goes under the radar or whatnot. It's just maybe
because it's Method Man.
Or maybe he has a method to his man.
If you start going by Clifford, maybe people will take him more seriously.
You know what? I'm gonna check the cast because I want to know if they cast him as Method Man or Clifford. I never thought about that. So, guys, this has been a great show for the Spotlight Edition. I truly want to thank my guest, Mr. Andre Griffith, crazy one, on the show, for being on the show today, man. I truly appreciate you. You know, I love you. Keep doing great work, man. Listen, if you haven't seen the promotion, he's going to show you how you can go ahead and watch it. It's out there on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Can people see it for free, or do they have to have a special link?
Yeah, no, people can see it for free. I will throw the link in the YouTube chat right now.
Listen, so guys, check this movie out. It's a love story, but it's some stuff that go down, and that's what I like about it. Like, you know what I mean? It was almost too real, right? It's almost too real. The situation was almost too real, but that's what you're gonna get from a real producer. You're gonna get realness, man. And I'm not only like your friend or whatnot. Like, I'm a huge fan, and I've always been a fan of what you did, everything you did for the Starting Five, for me, for George, for the fellas. Like, you've always been a big supporter. Now it's our time to reach back out and support you guys and what you're doing, man. I'm definitely gonna check out Teenage Bounty Hunters, though. Miss Debbie says that show is dope. I want to know why people don't tell me this stuff. As much as I tweet, y'all don't put the show in the tweets. But that's okay.
When you start watching it, you gonna figure out why nobody telling you, because it's like, if I didn't care about what people thought, I wouldn't tell nobody either. Because my wife came in and was like, "What is you watching?" And it's like, you figure like two white girls in high school, and it's a fun family. This ain't a fun family.
Got you. Guys, make sure you hit that follow for my man Andre Crazy One. That's at Crazy1373. That's his IG.
Which stands for Dre. Look in your phone. 373 is DRE.
I asked him that at the beginning of the show, and he remembered it. As soon as you said teenage, man, I thought we was going to Ninja Turtles. I thought I was getting some type of recreation. I know they hurt those films. But guys, we're out, man. You guys know I don't like being on here longer than an hour. I truly appreciate you guys for watching. I definitely appreciate you guys for listening on Apple Podcasts. Hit the 5-star review, guys. It's been real. We love you. We're out. Shoot the breeze.
Peace.